Hello, sacred souls. It's Susanna from Shamanic Shaman. What I have here for us tonight is a very specific healing, an energy healing for endometriosis. And this is for someone who is dear to me. And she told me about this issue that she is having. And I actually had to Google it a bit more. She explained it to me, but this is definitely an issue that only women and people who have a uterus have. Okay. So, any male viewers, sorry, this is not the right topic for you today. um, but I checked it. So, basically, and again, this is also in line with what she explained to me. So, there is the endometrium. So that's the tissue that normally builds up inside the uterus and gets flushed out with a period. But in cases of this illness, that same tissue starts building up outside the uterus as well, where it shouldn't be. And that's called endometriosis. So you can see a little bit of a buildup here and here and here and here. And this is all outside. It should, my apologies. My printer's almost out of ink, or toner. So it had a little bit of red left for this side, but the rest is all in black and white or gray and white. But I think you can see it enough. So here's like the uterus, and here's the buildup that's normal, right? And here's outside of it the buildup that is not normal. It shouldn't be there, right? So I'll show you a different diagram. So this is the side view. The bladder with urine is here. The rectum for number 2 is here. And the uterus is in between the two. And you can see it's also possible to have buildup in between these parts, right? So as well as where the ovaries are, but like again outside the uterus. Here are the fallopian tubes, and you can see there's also what they call sorry, I actually enlarged a really small picture from the internet, so it's a little bit out of focus, but up here it says endometriatic spots on ovary. So that's what this is. And here it's endometriosis in space between womb and rectum, or in the space between the womb and the bladder, right? So that's what can happen. And I also printed out the Google AI explanation. Now, these are 2 pages. We don't have to go into all of this, but just the top is actually quite informative. So endometriosis is a chronic, often painful disease where tissue similar to the uterus lining grows outside it, affecting 10% of women of reproductive age. Key symptoms include chronic pelvic pain, painful periods, and infertility, while causes are unknown, potentially involving genetic or immune factors. Treatments like hormonal therapy and surgery manage symptoms. And then it goes into more of the details. The causes is what I want to mention a little bit more. This stood out to me, the retrograde menstruation. So here it says menstrual blood containing endometrial cells flows backward through the fallopian tubes into the pelvic cavity. So instead of flowing out, it actually flows in the opposite direction, and that's how it can get into areas where it shouldn't be, right? So that is what really stood out to me, and what I feel we also have to focus on here. Now, what I was guided to do is actually a few things, like the Most important one, I had to get vessels that contain something to the right and left to symbolize or represent fallopian tubes. So I have a bowl here that actually has these two handles, and they can move up and down, but I kept them over to the side so they kind of symbolize the fallopian tubes a little more. And we're gonna bring light into the uterus here, like the bowl representing the uterus, right? So that's, I'm gonna light that after doing the other stuff, simply because I don't want to like reach over the fire and stuff, right? Then I have this really long pot that I use to melt wax for making candles, but let me actually just put this up here. So since it's empty inside, so there's space inside, it's a cavity, and it's long, I feel it represents the womb beautifully. And there, the two handles on the side represent the fallopian tubes. And I put some clay on here to represent the endometriosis, which I will then remove. And I was also guided to do an energetic cord cutting. And it's very interesting, when I tied this red cord to the girl doll, the way it came out, it was already twisted here, right? So it wasn't straight, it was twisted. That's just how it happened. And I find that's very symbolic for something twisted that is passed down genetically, like through the generations. It's also something that could have manifested because of abuse that happened in the family, and it manifested in that area, right? A lot of trauma is stored in the womb, so it doesn't have to be directly a genetic, something genetic that's passed down directly, but it could be a predisposition based or because of the trauma that was experienced, like, and that was, yeah, generational trauma, right? So we definitely need to do a cord cutting. So I already prepared the ceremonial scissors and the butter knife. I might not use it, but I have it there symbolically for removing, like for cutting out that tissue that shouldn't be there, and that shall be disposed of. And then I was also guided, actually I'm also doing a portal closing, which I always do together with cord cuttings, right? Just so that those kind of energies cannot come back, that energetic opening is closed. And I'm using ketchup to represent that tissue that, let me check the word again. Sorry, I have it off to the side here. The endometrial tissue. Wait a minute. Here it is. Endometriatic. I think it's endometriatic. Sorry, I'm having trouble with this word. Endometriatic tissue, I think I can call it that, or the endometrium. Here, the endometrium, but that's the endometriatic tissue that's outside the womb, the uterus. So the ketchup shall represent that tissue that needs to be flushed out. So we're cutting it out and then flushing it out. And I haven't actually tried it. I hope this works. But since it rose up through the fallopian tube to reach those places where it shouldn't be, we're going to send it back down the fallopian tube to return it to where it should be. So I have this big straw that's meant for bubble tea. And I'm going to send the ketchup through that into my little bowl here, and then I'm going to flush it down the toilet. So basically we're flushing it out of our system, right? And the intention is that that tissue, first of all returns to the uterus, and then at the next period, it should be fully flushed out. And thank you, spirits. Okay, and the portal closing is important to remove the opening that allows the tissue to go in the wrong direction, right? So, and again, as with all things, you can watch this video several times, and there's also a good chance that I might get some guidance for a follow-up. And also sometimes things are more complicated, where there can be other aspects. I don't want to scare anyone, but sometimes there can be entity attachments connected to some stuff. Or it could also have been a curse that was put on the family or something like that. Actually, yeah, let's just actually do that too. I'm gonna break something to break any possible curses too, just in case. This is the stuff that I was directly guided to, but better safe than sorry. So just give me one quick moment. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, okay. Okay, I was actually going to get a chopstick, but then I realized a wooden fork is actually better for this. And it will go into the next fire when I do the next fire ceremony, but that could take a little while. But I like to use wooden forks when dealing with these toxic, somewhat devil type energies that cause a lot of disharmony, that cause dysregulation, anything that is unhealthy, anything that is sick. It's usually those dark energies that we're dealing with. So I'm going to break this one to break any possible spells, curses, and hexes that might have been put on either the individual or the lineage, right? Okay, I think that's it explanation-wise. So let's smudge and get started, and then I'll call in our divine team and we'll get started on this. Please cleanse, clear, and renew all of our energies and take away anything dark, low vibrational, and unhealed, and transmute it into pure divine essence and return it to the universe for reintegration, and help us fully and completely step into our own inner divinity, into the emotions, into the feeling of that divine essence, and help us see and feel and perceive the divinity in everything and everyone around us, and through that help us be in oneness with all of creation. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations. All right, dear divine higher power of the universe, our higher selves, our entire divine spirit team of the light, including our ancestors that are in the light, the four directions and the four elements, please join the ceremony and assist the healings, prayers, and protection with all of your powers. Thank you. Please close the circle of protection around us. Thank you. All right, let us take a moment to express our gratitude for any and all blessings in our lives that we noticed today or that we experienced today, anything that we're grateful for today. So I had 2 really positive social situations today where I met with people that I really like. So I'm really, really grateful for that. And otherwise, I took some time to get some rest, which was also really overdue. So I'm very grateful for that. I had other plans, but I decided to postpone that and just give myself and my body the time to just rest. So that's also something very important as part of our self-care that we have to remember sometimes. So anyway, in the meantime, I hope that you all had a chance to think of something that you're grateful for. And with that being said, let us jump right in. And I feel like we have to get right away to the cord cutting. So again, for the endometriosis that causes tissue that should be inside the uterus to form growth outside the uterus, let any and all physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, energetic, karmic, and other connections that have created an opening and an attraction for those kind of energies to come in and manifest in this particular illness. Let any and all of those sick and twisted energies that most likely stem from abuse in the past, from trauma that was passed down through the generations and that manifested in the womb, in the place where women store a lot of trauma, right? So let any and all of those cords, bonds, shackles, chains, leashes, and any and all other karmic and energetic connections that have allowed these energies to manifest there now and forever be cut, severed, finished, and removed throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime and moving forward, or that affect any and all people affected by this illness. And everyone watching this should now be healthy and healed. Their health shall be restored. And any and all damage shall be reversed. Give me a second. I need to get the reversal crank. I just realized. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations. Okay. Here we go. So let any and all damage to the uterus and surrounding areas that had endometriosis. Hold on, I have to check again. This word trips me up. That have the endometriotic tissue grow outside the uterus. Let any and all of that damage be reversed. And let that tissue be removed and or dissolved, depending on where it is and what is possible. And let the entire space around the uterus become, see here, I'm not using the knife here. Let it be fully and completely removed. And let everything be restored to its original healthy state of how it should be, how it's supposed to be. And let the uterus be healthy, whole, and healed. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön, all my relations. And with that being said, let any and all portals and gateways that have allowed those energies to come in also be fully and completely closed. So nothing can get through here anymore. And I feel that I actually want to clip it shut. Give me a second. I got that here. Okay. Perfect. Okay. I feel like it really has to be clipped shut. It has to stay. Whoops. Oh, and it doesn't want to. See? So there are definitely still some forces at play that don't want this to be healed. But we're just going to force that. Oh, and I think I need a bigger one. So I'm actually going to put 2 on there. I have 2 different sizes in here. I think maybe this one should be a good one. Oh, and this is perfect. I have one that's actually pink. It's not exactly the color of the lower chakras, but it's closer to it. So let's actually use that one. Okay, and here we go. It is closed, shut, and completed. And let light, oh, wait a minute. This one first. So let any and all remaining endometriotic tissue that is outside the uterus now come out of there. I hope this works because it's gonna get messy, I think. Oh, yes, yes, yes. Okay, awesome. Let it come out of there. Okay, I'm having a bit of a mess at the top here, but that's okay. So let it be flushed out. And let it fully and completely return to where it's supposed to be and be flushed out of the system during the next menstruation, during the next menstrual cycle. Okay, let me put that here. Just give me a moment. I do need a tissue for my hands, or at least the left hand. Okay. All right, I'll wash them properly after filming, but this works for now. At least I don't get ketchup all over the place. Okay. Yeah, more or less. Okay. All right, that's good enough. I'll flush that down as well. And last but not least, let the divine healing light enter the uterus and restore balance and flood the entire belly region with healing, and let harmony be restored. feel like the ancestors are blessing this healing. Like the image I was just getting in my head is like how in the Catholic Church the priest has this sort of spoon type thing with, I think, some holy water in it, and then he like blesses people and he kind of splashes a little bit of that water through that spoon thingy, whatever it's called. Sorry, I don't know. And like it's a special blessing, right? So that's what I was just getting here as guidance. So this is good. This is really good. So with that being said, let's get a little bit of the bell going here. If you want to hum a little bit, that would be wonderful. If not, that's okay. If you want to harmonize, anything with sound is perfect now. Okay. Let us exhale all those dark energies that have been collecting in our system. And let us breathe in that pure divine healing, love, light energy, that divine essence. And visualize it spreading throughout your entire body, starting from your lungs all the way down, all the way up, over and across into all the different parts of your body. And of course, very strongly also down into the womb. Thank you. What I'm seeing here visually right now is like a second light. So there's one light going into the lungs and the second light that we have lit here. And they're connecting and creating this really strong, almost like highway of healing light. I don't know why I feel like I needed to say highway, but it's like this like high energy that's like whipping around. It's like it's really like working strongly. Whew. Oh, and I just had an energy shiver. So the energies are moving, they're moving around. And if you want to hold your hands over your womb area, you can do so. If not, that's okay. Just anything to just let in that inner peace, love, and harmony that totally relaxes you, and where you feel that healing light inside your womb, just working away at it. And the energies are twirling, almost a little bit like a fire tornado, but not as strongly and violently, but gently, just sort of circling around in there and just, oh, thank you, spirits. Okay, one sec. So it's like the divine spirit team is basically cleaning house, right? So they're like working away at it in the womb, around the womb, in the pelvic cavity, and all that space that surrounds the womb and fallopian tubes. So everything just gets brushed off and renewed. Everything gets cleaned up. The energies get cleared, and everything is now returning to peace. Okay, that's it. That was another shiver, energy shiver. Good. Okay, I think that's it for tonight. I might get more follow-up guidance, but for now I feel... Oh, wait. No. Wrong. Just in case, as mentioned before, if there was any dark magic behind what is happening there, if there was any curse put on either the person directly or the lineage, let any dark magic, spells, curses, hexes, and other ill intentions projected onto that individual and lineage. Oh, that broke so easily. Wow. Now and forever be broken. And again, throughout all of time and space, throughout all lifetimes, timelines, parallel and alternate realms, realities, multi-and universes, and any and all other aspects that affect us in this lifetime and moving forward. And I feel I have to break all of these. Okay, done. And so it is. Thank you. Dankeschön. All my relations. All our relations. All right, that's it, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. So let us now give massive amounts of love, thanks, gratitude, and blessings to our divine team. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And let the ceremony now be finished. Please open the circle of protection around us, but keep us strongly safe, shielded, and protected at all times with a massive divine shield of protection, and seal our energy field. Thank you, Dankeschön, all my relations, all our relations. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching, for being a part of the ceremony, and for being on your own healing and ascension journey. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, share, and subscribe. And if you'd like to support the channel further, there's a PayPal link down below. Also, the next virtual shamanic healing ceremony will take place on Sunday, May the 17th at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I haven't posted it yet, but I will within a week or so. So please be patient and check back there a little bit later. The information is down below in the description box. It will be... The login will be via meetup.com, and the group name is Shamanic Fire Ceremonies. So it will be there. The early bird special is $15 Canadian, and the last minute login on the day off will be $20, again, Canadian dollars. So I hope that many of you will be able to make it. And if not, then I'll connect with you through one of the next videos. And in the meantime, I'm sending you tons of love, light, and blessings. Be well until next time, and I wish you great abundance. May truth and integrity always be with you. Bye for now.